Hey there guys, what's crackin'? My name is Chris and this is Houseplant Therapy, where I personally consider houseplants to be a therapy of life. In today's video, I'm gonna help you on how to take care of the Begonia Maculata, or also known as the Polka Dot Begonia. So it's been pretty crazy around here. As you can see, the plant shelf is full. What we've been doing is taking all the houseplants out of our porch and putting them inside because the porch does not get heated in the winter. It sucks, but we just haven't figured it out enough to where it's not effective because the energy bill is so highly expensive to heat this, and it's crazy. I hate it though. So let's get to the nit and gritty of this episode. I'm gonna tell you how to take care of the Polka Dot Begonia in 4 easy steps. Step number 1 to taking care of the Begonia Maculata is to make sure this plant gets adequate amounts of lighting. Look at the pure beauty of this thing. We got the white polka dots on every single leaf. This plant is considered to be exotic, and I don't know how you feel about that. Some people say it is exotic, some people say it's not. A lot of people love it on Instagram. That's kind of like a telltale sign. Look at the leaves of this guy. It is so beautiful, and depending on your type of lighting will depend on how big your leaves get. Here in Minnesota, our lighting is extremely weak. That's kind of like why we have lights hung from the ceiling. And what happens is our leaves on a lot of plants are actually a lot smaller. So you might see on other posts that these leaves get a lot larger for other people's plants. But that doesn't mean our plant's doing bad. Because look it, we have flowers. And this plant will flower every once in a great while, and it's absolutely magnificent. Step number 2 on how to take care of this beautiful, beautiful plant is to make sure you get the watering correctly. A lot of people screw this up with their houseplants. This is like the death of 90% of houseplants. What people do is they water their plant too much, and what happens here is our plants want to thoroughly dry out in between the waterings. So what we need to do is we need to master watering it enough, but not watering it too much, because what happens is if we water it too much, the roots just start rotting, and if you don't have strong roots, it's not going to hold this plant up, and it needs its root structure. It's very, very important. I would say on average, people are watering this plant once a week, but that's kind of going to depend on your lighting as well, because the lighting is what dries out the soil. So if you have kind of low lighting like we do here in Minnesota, we water this plant once every 2 weeks, and in the wintertime, probably once every 3 weeks. So you're kind of just gonna have to know, if you live in Florida or somewhere where there's a lot of lighting and it's warmer outside, chances are you're gonna have to water this plant once a week. The third most important variable when it comes to taking care of the Begonia Maculata is that you need to support it when it grows. We have some sticks in here, but as you can see, this plant grows pretty tall. And what you want to do is maybe get a trellis or something so that when it decides to grow, it actually has some support. Because a lot of times these plants get top heavy, and a lot of people have them fall over. And as you know, when plants fall over, it kind of messes up the root structure. So it's actually pretty important. Get yourself a trellis, or just whatever you want. You can even build something out of wood. There's so many tutorials on this. So the 4th step or variable when it comes to taking care of this plant is the soil and the pot. So first of all, I highly advise that you just keep your begonia plant in the nursery pot it comes with, because when it's in a nursery pot, you can kind of just take out the root structure and take a look at it. But when it's in a ceramic pot like this, I can't take it out, I can't see it. Even repotting this is gonna be super annoying. I highly advise just keeping your stuff in nursery pots, and if you want to put it inside of a prettier pot, you can also do that. It's really easy. But when it comes to potting soil mix, what you want to do is just get pretty much any potting soil mix, and it's going to work. Maybe add a little perlite, because this stuff, it doesn't need super fast draining soil like a lot of the succulents do in this hobby. But it just, you can't screw this up, guys. Just get yourself some regular organic potting soil, throw a little perlite in there, and it's gonna be fine. Well guys, those are my 4 easy steps on how to take care of the Begonia Maculata. That's a lot to say. The Polka Dot Begonia, you could also referencing it as. It's super easy to care for. Give it some high lighting. Let's showcase this plant, because it's a super crazy looking plant, and I feel like if you showcase it somewhere in your house, maybe on your dining room table, or maybe right when you walk into your house, or on a windowsill. Look at the leaves on this guy. It's absolutely ridiculous. Give it high indirect lighting if possible. Make sure you don't overwater it, but water it enough. Promise me you're not gonna overwater it. Make sure that the potting soil mix is decent and has some perlite in there. Guys, it's literally, that's 90% of keeping this plant. Oh, and give it a trellis so that it can kind of lean on something to grow up into. That's a big deal with this plant because if it just has to sit there and hang, it's gonna hate that. All right, guys, without further ado, I try to keep these care guides really simple and easy because I only keep easy plants and I like to keep things really easy. Without further ado, please subscribe to the channel. I also have an aquarium channel on fish tanks with 60,000 subscribers. We just hit 60,000. If you guys want to subscribe, it is Palmer Aquatics. That is the name of the channel. Why am I even talking about this? Guys, subscribe to this channel on houseplants. I love you guys. Hit me up in the comment section. I want to hear from you. Let me know if this video helped you learn how to take care of the Begonia Maculata. Mwah.